Hey everyone. Okay, we're live. Sorry about that. I am Andrew Osa, your dietitian coach here with 310 Nutrition. As you guys start joining on, say hi, and then we'll get into our little recipe we got going on. Let me see. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Jaya. It's really hard to see the comments. I actually have the table further away today. But yeah, as you guys start joining on, just let me know where you're coming from and just to kind of remind me good afternoon or night. I mean, for the East Coast, I know it's a little bit later, but here it's 4 p.m. actually, and I've been all over the place today. So I actually just finished a workout and trying to unwind and having a little bit of a treat. Actually, this is a perfect treat to have post workout. Actually getting really hungry, so I'm gonna have this and then have a dinner, a nice dinner after this. So just say hi as you guys are hopping on from Carson City, I believe that is Nevada. Hey, it's really hard to see the names, but welcome. Come, welcome on, and we will get started very shortly. So what you see here, if everyone can see here, these are some peppermint, chocolate peppermint protein balls. So I'm just gonna show you guys how to make these today. Holidays are coming around, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We got a lot of decadent, tasty treats that are gonna be everywhere, right? So I just want to give you guys some healthier options where you guys could bring these to your Thanksgiving or to whatever gatherings you have with your family and friends. Just have a little twist on it, or just have this as a little treat after a meal or for a snack. Because if you guys are anything like me, I always have cravings for some kind of chocolate or sweet or something after a meal. So let me know if you guys are the same because I yeah, I have to have a little dessert, a little something sweet. I mean, even if it's just gum, for me it ends the meal. It wraps it up. Maria. Okay, sorry, Maria. It's really hard to see. Let me see if I could pop this up. All right, but while you guys are here, basically, let me just go over some of the ingredients that are going to be involved for these little chocolate peppermint protein balls. So as you see, there's a little bit of sprinkles of candy cane. So one of the ingredients, a little bit sprinkled of candy canes. Of course, it's a holiday treat, and the peppermint parts of this recipe are going to be the peppermint swirl, 310 Nutrition protein powder to give it the protein and the peppermint flavor, and then the candy canes, just a little bit sprinkled on top. The other ingredients that I have on here are some dark chocolate chips. You can, if dairy is something that you're lactose intolerant or you can't have dairy, you could definitely try dairy-free chocolate chips. But I like these dark chocolate chips, and this is actually a really nice brand by Lily's. I found these at Sprouts, but I saw them at Smart and Final too. They're everywhere, but they're low, no added sugar chocolate chips. And they're I think dark chocolate, 55% dark chocolate. So really good pick. Actually, if you see the ingredients here, it only has 0 grams of sugars and 0 added sugar. So the erythro, which is the artificial sweetener, is 3 grams. So that's how it gets its sweetness. So great option here. I'm gonna be adding these to the protein balls. And just as Lily's, the best, especially the dark chocolate. Yeah, they actually have a bunch of flavors. So if you guys are baking, this is a great option for you baked treats and stuff you're baking for the holidays. So the other ingredients you'll see here are some almond butter. You could substitute it for any kind of nut butter if you don't like almond butter. I like this almond butter. Justin's and this Barney's one are really good almond butters. Again, because they have almost little or no added sugar. This one's no added sugar here. Yeah, as you see, there's added sugars in all your all your food. So looking out for those options is going to help, lessen the amount of added and sweet and added sugars that you're adding to your day. So that's kind of how you do it, just little by little. And then here I have some blue agave. The recipe I have here it's really good with maple syrup or the agave. If you like something less sweet and you don't like the mapley sugariness of the maple syrup, go for the blue agave. So that's what I'll be using today. And then just for some extra, down here I have some dark Hershey's like cocoa baking powder. So this is the just the 100% cacao. That's just gonna give it that dark chocolatey taste. So yeah, so that's about it. On the side, I have the little cacao nibs. So this is another really good option you have. That's basically just like pure cacao. There's going to be no added sugars in these either. So if you want an extra amount of chocolatiness to this, cacao nibs, great option. Yeah, you can see these all over the place. If you're getting like acai bowls, are you getting smoothies? Sometimes they'll add these, but you can buy some on the side to use for this recipe too. All right, so that's about it. So it's about a bunch of just pretty much whole ingredients, except for the candy canes, of course. But these little protein balls are basically a bunch of just whole ingredients. And they're crunchy because you get the little chips of dark chocolate and the candy canes. So really, really easy thing, easy recipe to do. Super healthy snack for these holidays and great crunch, like I said. Low added sugars. All right, so I went over the ingredients. Pretty easy to make. Pretty easy. Just I have a bowl here on the side, just a normal bowl, and you basically dump all the ingredients in the bowl and then roll them out at the end. So there's a few that you don't add at first, but I'm gonna get started with the 310 peppermint swirl, and this has enough peppermint flavor, so just 1 scoop of the peppermint swirl. But if you want to try chocolate with, a chocolate flavored, the chocolate flavored 310 all in one, you can use that too. Chocolate, vanilla, or peppermint swirl, either one of those works. But this is all peppermint, so I'm going with the peppermint swirl. Okay, so 1 scoop of the peppermint swirl. That's where you're getting your protein for these protein balls. Then you have your cacao powder. So this is the powder here. You're gonna do 6 tablespoons of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that into our bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's a funny story about these spoons. Actually, I was buying these at Sprouts today because my other ones were getting old and I couldn't even find some. So I cut myself. That's why I have a bandage right now. But I cut myself opening these spoons, which is I just thought it was funny because they're spoons and I don't know how I cut myself, but yeah. So I have these 6 tablespoons of the Hershey's cacao powder. So I'm gonna close that up. So far, this is what we've added. Next, you're gonna add the maple syrup or agave, blue agave. So I'll be using the blue agave today, like I said. This one is gonna be 6 tablespoons. Oh, you know what? It was actually okay. So sorry, I messed up, guys. It's actually 10. It was 10 scoops of the cacao powder and 6 of the blue agave. So I'm just gonna add 4 more just to make sure the recipe comes out chocolatey enough. Because 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Yeah, I've only made this recipe once, this exact one, so it came out pretty good that way. But I did half this recipe, so that's why it got a little confusing. But I'm gonna do the full recipe today. So 10, all right, 10 scoops of this, 1 of this, of the 310 powder. And next, the blue agave. So I'll be adding 6 tablespoons of this blue agave, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So most of your sweetness is gonna come from this blue agave or the maple syrup, and that's what you want. You want your majority of your sweetness not to be from added sugars, and because a lot of these baked goods, a lot of these holiday pies, cakes, treats, popsicles, what cake pops, whatever you have during the holidays, comes from processed or sugars and corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup. So the great thing about this recipe is you're getting most of your sweetness from the blue agave, a little bit from the candy canes, but that's it. That you're not getting a lot of added sugars. So that's what I like about these protein balls. So we added that. Now we're gonna add the peanut butter or almond butter. That's what I have here. So the almond butter is gonna help kind of bind everything together. So for this one, just want to make sure I added 4 tablespoons of the peanut butter. So I'm going to be using this 1 tablespoon. And here you're going to have some healthy fats from the almond butter. And it's going to be the binder that kind of puts everything together. Allows you to like roll it up into like a little bit of a ball. The consistency that you're looking for is kind of like a cookie dough consistency. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm a big fan of cookie dough. Let me know if you guys are big fans of that too, because that's kind of what I get here. Once they get a little bit harder, they taste kind of like a cookie dough, nice and soft. We just grab one last scoop, and I'm just using a spatula on the side here just to scoop everything out. Because I actually making the ones that I have on display, I was using my fingers and it gets really messy. So I recommend you have a little spatula on the side, so you can just scoop and dump. There you go. Okay, so once we put all of those in there, you're gonna wait for the chocolate chips, cacao nibs, the little toppings, and the candy canes. So wait for those at the moment, and you're just gonna mix this together. So I'm gonna use my spatula here on the side. So there you guys can see it. Most of the ingredients I've talked about here, the agave and the almond butter. These are the ones that have been in the bowl. I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a mix, and be careful because the cacao powder, it flies up. It's not like flour. It's like it's like hydrophilic. No, it's not hydrophilic. It's not, doesn't bind well with like water, so it's hard. You have to really mix it to make sure it binds together, and it's very interesting. But yeah, just give it a nice little stir. Make sure it's binding. So depending on the almond butter, if you have a more runny almond butter, you might not need a lot of additional water or any extra to make it bind. But my almond butter is a little bit dry, so I have a little bit of water, just water, normal water, natural water on the side, and I'm gonna add little tiny bits at a time, not too much, because I don't want this to become a kind of mushy mess. I just want it to kind of hold together. So I'm gonna start just adding little bits of water at a time. It could be from like a fourth a cup, around there, depending on your almond butter again, like I was saying. So I'm just gonna give this a mix, keep making it bind together. This kind of reminds me of protein puddings, another great little snack that I love to do. Just if all you have is your protein powder and you're on the go, is just grabbing a scoop or two of the 310 protein powder and mixing it with a tiny bit of water or almond milk, wherever you have, and then giving it a mix. That's a great way to have like a nice little pudding that you can have if you kind of don't want to have a shake or anything too big to like hold you down. That's what I like to do myself too. Okay, guys, so bear with me here. We're just giving this a mix. Like I said, this cacao powder is really hard to bind together, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Almost there. It's kind of gonna be like a paste. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna come closer so you guys can see. So it's kind of sticky, but not runny. It's not like a runny consistency. Not like a omelet kind of egg style, because it's more like a rough, like a cookie dough batter style. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Once it's all bound together, now we can add the toppings, the little extras that we're gonna add in there. So I'm gonna start off with the candy canes. I just bought some candy canes. Recipe calls for 2 to 4 candy canes. I just threw 2 candy canes in this little plastic baggie. You can use any baggie you want. Just throw them in there, and you're gonna mash it up. So let me grab a little jar real quick. So the way I use this is I put them in a baggie and I mash it up. I have one of these mason jars, and then I just give it a mash. Like so. So I just smashed up the candy canes in this baggie. This is like a tough baggie, so it's a little bit more durable. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle them in there. So just sprinkle in the candy canes like so. That's in. Next, we have our Lily's chocolate chip, dark chocolate chips. So I'm gonna throw in 2 tablespoons of the chocolate chips. And if you really like chocolate chips, you could throw in a little bit more. I'm just gonna stick with 2 to keep it on the lighter side, you know. So we don't have too much chocolate in this, because this is a very chocolatey, pepperminty recipe. All right, and that's it. We just throw them in there. The cacao nibs are another option you can have on the side. I'm gonna just add those 2 in here, and you just kind of fold it in together like that. There you go. And yeah, and this is what you get. You just kind of fold it in. And next, I'm gonna grab the spatula and just grab little pieces. So I'm gonna have a little piece like this. There you can see the peppermint and the chocolate chips. And all I'm gonna do is roll it up. So I'm gonna have a little bit of the powder on the side, like the protein powder. I put a little bit just to keep my hands dry, and roll them up in little balls. And basically, you're gonna roll them up, put them on a little plate like so. I didn't put parchment paper on the bottom of this, and they kind of get stuck. You see down there, but I do recommend just putting a little bit of parchment paper on the side, on the bottom of the plate. I mean, and put them in the fridge for 30 minutes, an hour, overnight. I mean, you just leave them, store them there, store them in the fridge. So that way you can have them ready to go. You could put them in a little, you could put them in little baggies and containers just to store them for later. So all I'm going to do is roll these up like so. See, there we go. And put them on the plate. And that's it. And after that, we just put them in the fridge, and we have them ready for any snacks or any time you're craving a little treat. So that is the recipe. That's about it. I have some little tips here. So you want to do it about 2 inches, 2 inches around. That's what the nutrition facts is for. I'm gonna have to come up closer because I can't see that. Might have to try these. Thanks for sharing. Of course, Joanne. Yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Very easy recipe. So you guys can whip this up, I mean, in a matter of 10 minutes. If you have all the ingredients out, if you have the peppermint swirl and you have some candy canes, a lot of people have peanut butter, cacao powder. I mean, very simple ingredients that you can probably have around, stored around. But like I said, you can use nut butters, any kind of nut butters, substitute like sunflower seed oil, nut butter, or sunflower seed oil, but butter, just to replace the almond butter or peanut butter if you have any nut allergies. If you're using something besides the peppermint swirl, like the chocolate or vanilla, you could add peppermint extract, like a peppermint oil extract, to enhance the peppermint flavor if that's something you don't have on hand. And for the healthiest option, so if you really want your added sugars, the sugars to be very, very low in this recipe, you can just do the cacao nibs, or these. You could just do the cacao nibs instead of the dark chocolate chips. That way, I mean, just with that, this recipe could be the only added sugars would be the blue agave. So that's how you can make these protein balls very low in added sugars. What is the trivia there on the side? Oh, trivia. Oh, yes. So this on the side. So I added this. If you're adding the cacao nibs, and let's see if you guys can see me. If you're adding the cacao nibs, it's not going to be as sweet because you're not adding the chocolate chips or the candy canes, if that's something you want to do to make it very low in added sugars. So what you're gonna have to do is combine the cacao nibs with some this truvia. So this is just stevia, stevia leaf extract, like a artificial sweetener too. But it's going to add the sweetness that's missing out when you just add these cacao nibs, because this is not sweetened at all. You guys can see here these cacao nibs. They are 15 grams of fat just from the oils and the cacao nibs, 0 grams of added sugars, 0 total sugars. There's going to be no sweetness from these. So that's why I have this on the side, so you guys can combine these two if you're opting out of the candy canes and the chocolate chips. So yeah, that's about it. Like I told you guys, this was pretty easy, pretty simple recipe. Something you guys can do in a matter of a few minutes. Let me go higher. So yeah, like I said, you store them. All I did was put these in the refrigerator. I actually made them earlier today in the morning. So it's been a few hours and I just left them in there, and they turn nice and solid like this. Oh, there we go. Nice and solid. They kind of feel like a little brownie, like a like little brownie bite. So that's the recipe. A lot of whole ingredients. Yeah, pretty easy to make. Is there any questions about the recipe or anything anyone is curious about, or how they can substitute this for something else? Hi, Maria. Because these, yeah, I'm just gonna actually try one out. I had one earlier today, but just to taste test to make sure they were good. But very much like cookie dough. So here's the middle. You guys can see. It's very rich and dense. So if you like a kind of cookie dough batter, great option. Yeah, you're welcome, Jim. And leave me comments of what you want to see next, because I heard cookies. Cookies is coming up, so we're gonna do some baked cookies. I think I missed that comment, but cookies are coming up too. We'll make sure to make those. No questions for me. Looks pretty easy. Awesome, Maria. Very easy recipe and easy to incorporate. One serving. Let me check how much. Crystal, no, I had to save until I go shopping. Thanks for sharing. Love cookie dough though. If you love cookie dough, then you'll really love these recipes. If you like chocolate type of cookie dough, a lot of chocolateness in this one. So a great option here. But yeah, like I was saying, for one of these little protein balls, 118 calories, 16 grams of fat. Sorry, 16 grams of carbohydrates, only 5 grams of fat, and fiber is 2 grams. So the cacao nibs and some of the cacao powder has some fiber in it, so that's what helps. But just 100 calories. Basically, it's 100 calories for one of these 2-inch little protein bites. And the protein was 5 grams. So 5 grams of protein per little bite. Have you ever made mug cake using 310? Mug cake. I haven't done mug cakes in a long time, but another awesome recipe. You just have it all like an individual serving little treat. But yeah, I'll try to look into doing a twist on the mug cakes with maybe the chocolate or some kind of different flavor than peppermint swirl. But yeah, whenever you can have individual, what I love about these is that they're like individual size, so you can have them like just as a treat, and it's kind of like portion controlled already. Because as we know, it's something that's hard to do is when you're having these cravings is having things in portions, right? Because we know we can have a little treat and it's not going to affect our overall journey of weight loss or reaching our goals, our health or fitness goals. So having these in little portions is perfect for your control, like throughout the week, or throughout the day. So yeah, highly recommend these when it's portioned out, like the mug little chocolate cakes or a little protein ball. Great way to make sure you're staying on track by controlling your portions. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I have for today. I went over the recipe. there's any other questions, again, like I said, leave them in the comments. I will go back and try to answer as many as I can, whatever I missed. But yeah, and if you guys want to see new recipes, you guys want to see certain types of recipes, maybe the mug cake was one that we can do, cookies or some type of a new recipe or a topic or something that we're going to be that we can discuss. Let me know so we can go over that during our next recipe, our next live. All right. Well, I think. Sorry that I saw something here. Okay. So yeah, guys, let me know what else you guys are thinking. Um, that's pretty much it. That's all the time that's everything I have planned for today. I guess this went a little faster than last time. But thank you everybody for watching, for staying tuned. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Take care, stay safe out there, wherever you're coming from, and I will catch you guys next week. Everybody.